Hello, everyone. Today, I want to talk to you about something truly exciting and life-changing. It's something that has the power to open doors, connect you with people all over the world, and even transform your future. Can you guess what it is? Yes, it's learning English. Especially English listening and speaking skills. These skills are the key to effective communication and building meaningful connections. And I can't wait to share how they can transform your life. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Learning English is hard. I've tried before, but it's too overwhelming. I don't know where to start. Believe me, I understand. I've been there myself. But here's the good news. Learning English doesn't have to be difficult or boring. In fact, it can be fun, exciting, and a journey filled with amazing discoveries. This video, I'm going to share with you proven tips and practical methods that will make your English learning experience enjoyable and effective. Whether you're just starting out or you've been learning for a while, these tips will help you improve and achieve your goals. But before we dive into those tips, let me ask you a question. Why do you want to learn English? Is it to travel the world, to make new friends, to get a better job, or to watch your favorite movies without subtitles? Whatever your reason is, hold on to it tightly, because that reason will be your biggest motivation. Think of learning English as a journey. A beautiful journey where every new word is like a treasure you discover, and every sentence you form is a step closer to achieving your dreams. So, are you ready to begin this incredible journey? Let's start one step at a time. Part 2. Personal Story. Selina. When I was young, I never thought I would be able to speak English. Growing up, English felt like an impossible mountain to climb. Every time I looked at a page of English words, it felt like a puzzle I couldn't solve. The letters made sense to others, but to me, they were just a jumble of sounds and shapes. I remember feeling scared and even embarrassed when someone tried to speak to me in English. I would freeze, not knowing what to say, and I thought, maybe I'm just not meant to learn this language. But one day, something happened that changed my mindset forever. I was about 10 years old when my teacher told me a simple but powerful sentence. Every expert was once a beginner. That sentence stayed with me. It reminded me that nobody is born knowing English, or any language for that matter. Everyone starts somewhere. And so, I decided to start too. At first, I didn't know how to begin. I didn't have access to fancy classes, private tutors, or even a lot of resources. But I did have one thing: stories. My teacher gave me a very simple English storybook. It had pictures, short sentences, and words I could barely understand. The story was about a little bird that learned how to fly. It was simple, but it was enough to spark something inside me. I started reading that story every single day. At first, I didn't understand much, but I looked at the pictures, tried to guess the meanings, and sounded out the words slowly. Day by day, I started to recognize patterns. I noticed words like bird, sky, and fly appearing again and again. Suddenly, these words started to make sense. It felt like magic, like the story was coming alive in my mind. From there, I wanted more. I started listening to English songs. I didn't understand the lyrics at first, but I would hum along. I remember playing a particular song over and over again, trying to catch just one word I could recognize. And when I finally did, when I heard the word love, it felt like I had unlocked a secret. Listening became my favorite way to learn. I started watching cartoons in English, even though I didn't understand most of what the characters were saying. I still remember watching a cartoon about a dog that got lost in a big city. The story was simple, but it taught me words like friend, help, and home. These cartoons didn't just teach me vocabulary. They taught me how to pronounce words, how to use them in sentences, and even how to express emotions in English. But it wasn't just listening and reading. Speaking was another challenge altogether. I was terrified of speaking English. I was so afraid of making mistakes that I avoided it for a long time. But then I realized something important. Mistakes are a part of learning. If I wanted to get better, I had to let go of my fear and just try. So I started speaking to myself. Yes, myself. I would stand in front of a mirror and say simple sentences like, "My name is Selina," or "I like apples." I would practice introducing myself, talking about my day, and even pretending to have conversations with imaginary friends. At first, it felt silly, but over time it became fun. It was like playing a game with myself. I also started writing. I kept a small notebook where I would write down any new words I learned. Every day, I challenged myself to write one new sentence using those words. I still remember the first full sentence I wrote in English. "The sky is blue." It was such a small thing, but it felt like a huge victory to me. Over the years, my confidence grew. I made a friend who spoke English fluently, and we started practicing together. Sometimes, I would say something wrong, and she would correct me. Instead of feeling embarrassed, I felt grateful because every mistake taught me something new. Looking back, I realized that learning English wasn't just about the language. It was about patience, persistence, and believing in myself. It was about taking small steps every day, even when it felt difficult. So, to anyone who feels like learning English is too hard, I want to say this. I understand how you feel. I've been there. But if I, Selina, could do it, so can you. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. Remember, every new word you learn is like a piece of a puzzle. Slowly but surely, those pieces will come together. And one day, you'll see the full picture. You'll realize just how far you've come. And when that day comes, you'll look back and be so proud of yourself. Just like I am proud of the journey that brought me here today. Part 3. Listening. When it comes to learning English, listening is one of the most powerful tools you can use. Why? Because listening is how we first learned our native language. Think about it. Before we could read, write, or even speak, we listened. Listening is the foundation of understanding, and it's the same when learning English. When I started learning English, I didn't realize how important listening was. At first, I only focused on reading and memorizing words. But I struggled to understand how those words sounded in real conversations. I would see a word written down, but when someone said it out loud, I couldn't recognize it. That's when I knew I needed to focus on listening. One of the first things I did was start listening to English stories. I remember my teacher giving me a cassette tape of short English fairy tales. The first story I listened to was about a little boy and a magic tree. At first, I didn't understand most of it. The words felt like they were flying past me too, quickly. But I didn't give up. I played that tape every day, listening carefully to how the words were pronounced and how the sentences flowed. Over time, I began to catch familiar words, then phrases, and eventually whole sentences. That experience taught me an important lesson. Listening isn't about understanding everything at once. It's about exposing yourself to the language and letting it become familiar over time. Why listening is important. When you listen to English regularly, you're doing more than just hearing sounds. You're learning how words are pronounced, understanding how sentences are structured, picking up the natural rhythm and intonation of the language, expanding your vocabulary by hearing new words in context. Listening also helps you connect with the language on an emotional level. When you listen to a song, watch a movie, or hear someone tell a story, you're not just learning words. You're feeling the language, experiencing its culture, and understanding how it's used in real life. How to practice listening. Start with simple content. When I began practicing listening, I started with simple, clear content designed for learners. Children's stories, cartoons, and beginner-level podcasts were my go-to resources. These types of materials use slower speech, simple vocabulary, and lots of repetition, making them perfect for building confidence. For example, I used to watch a cartoon about a little cat and its adventures. The sentences were short, like, "The cat is hungry," or "The cat wants milk." It was easy to follow because the visuals helped me understand what was happening, even if I didn't know all the words. Listen to songs. Music is another fantastic way to improve your listening skills. English songs are full of everyday phrases and expressions, and they often repeat key words, making them easier to remember. When I first started listening to English songs, I didn't understand the lyrics, but I would hum along, trying to mimic the sounds. I remember the first song I understood completely. It was "You Are My Sunshine." It was simple, repetitive, and catchy. Over time, I began to understand more songs, and my listening skills improved without me even realizing it. 3. Watch movies and TV shows. Movies and TV shows expose you to real-life conversations. When I started watching English movies, I used subtitles to help me follow along. I'd watch a scene, listen to how the characters spoke, and then repeat their lines to practice pronunciation. One movie that helped me a lot was a family film about a dog. It had simple dialogue and plenty of repetition. Watching it taught me phrases like, "Let's go," and "Are you okay?" Use podcasts and audiobooks. As I got better, I started listening to English podcasts and audiobooks. These are great because you can listen to them anywhere, on the bus, while walking, or even while doing chores. I started with beginner podcasts where the host spoke slowly and clearly. My favorite was a podcast that told funny stories in English. The stories were short, and I could replay them as many times as I needed. Listen to real-life conversations. If possible, try to listen to real-life English conversations. This could be in person or through videos and recordings of people talking naturally. When I traveled to an English-speaking country for the first time, I listened to how people spoke. At cafes, on the street, and in shops. It was challenging at first, but it taught me how English is used in everyday situations. Tips for effective listening. Be consistent. Listen to English every day, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Consistency is key. Don't worry about understanding everything. Focus on the overall meaning, not every single word. Repeat and replay. If you don't understand something, replay it. Repetition helps the words stick. Shadowing technique. Try to repeat what you hear immediately after listening. This improves pronunciation and listening comprehension. Take notes. Write down any new words or phrases you hear. Look them up later and try to use them in a sentence. My experience with listening. I'll never forget the moment I realized how far my listening skills had come. I was watching a live interview with a famous English-speaking actor. At first, I was nervous. I didn't think I'd understand much. But as the interview went on, I found myself nodding along, understanding most of what was being said. It felt like unlocking a whole new world. Listening helped me gain confidence in all areas of learning English: reading, writing, and speaking. It taught me that language isn't just about words. It's about rhythm, tone, and emotion. Final thoughts. If you want to improve your English, start with listening. Surround yourself with the language. Listen to stories, songs, movies, podcasts, anything that interests you. Remember, you don't need to understand everything right away. Just keep listening, and over time, the words will start to make sense, and the language will begin to feel like a natural part of your life. So, grab your headphones, find something in English to listen to, and take the first step. You'll be amazed at how much you can learn just by opening your ears. Part 4. Practice. If there's one thing I've learned on my journey to mastering English, it's this: practice is everything. Learning a new language is like building a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. No one becomes fluent overnight, but with consistent practice, amazing progress is possible. When I started learning English, I was scared to practice. I didn't want to make mistakes, and I was worried people would laugh at me. But over time, I realized something very important. Mistakes are not failures. They are stepping stones to improvement. So, let me share with you how I practiced English step by step, and how you can do the same. Why practice is crucial. Practicing English allows you to turn passive knowledge, what you hear and read, into active skills, what you say and write. Build confidence in using the language in real situations. Develop fluency by making English a natural part of your life. Practice doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be consistent. Remember, every small effort counts. How to practice speaking. Talk to yourself. One of the easiest and least intimidating ways to practice speaking is by talking to yourself. When I started, I would describe everything I did out loud in English. For example, I'm making tea. The weather is sunny today. I need to buy some apples. At first, it felt strange, but over time, it became a habit. Talking to myself helped me get comfortable with forming sentences without the pressure of speaking to someone else. Use a mirror. Practicing in front of a mirror can help you improve your confidence and pronunciation. I used to stand in front of a mirror and pretend I was having a conversation. I would say things like, "Hello, my name is Selina. How are you?" Today, I want to talk about my favorite book. Looking at myself while speaking made me feel more confident and helped me notice how I moved my mouth to pronounce words. Record yourself. Recording your voice might feel awkward at first, but it's an excellent way to hear how you sound and identify areas for improvement. I used to record myself reading short paragraphs or telling a simple story in English. Then, I would listen to the recording and compare it to how native speakers sounded. Each time, I tried to get a little better. 4. Practice with a partner. If you can, find someone to practice English with, a friend, a teacher, or even an online language partner. I had a friend who spoke fluent English, and we practiced every day. She corrected my mistakes and taught me new phrases. If you don't have someone nearby, there are many online platforms where you can connect with other English learners or native speakers. Use technology.apps like language exchange platforms or AI chatbots are great tools for practicing conversation. These apps let you simulate real-life conversations and help you learn how to respond naturally. When I was learning, I used these tools to practice daily greetings, ask questions, and even role-play common scenarios like ordering food or asking for directions. How to practice writing. Keep a journal. One of the best ways to practice writing is by keeping a journal. Every day, I wrote a few sentences about my day in English. For example, today I went to the park. The weather was sunny, and I saw many children playing. At first, my sentences were very basic, but over time, they became more complex. Writing. In a journal not only helped me practice grammar, but also allowed me to track my progress. Write letters or emails. If you have friends or pen pals who speak English, try writing letters or emails to them. I used to write emails to my English-speaking friends, even if they were just a few lines. It gave me a real sense of purpose and helped me learn how to write in a conversational tone. Describe pictures. A fun way to practice writing is by describing pictures. Choose any photo, maybe a picture of a family at a park or a beautiful landscape, and write a short paragraph about it. For example, in this picture, there is a family having a picnic. The mother is holding a basket, and the children are playing with a ball. This exercise helps you practice vocabulary and sentence structure. How to practice listening and speaking together. Shadowing. Shadowing is a technique where you listen to someone speaking English and try to repeat what they say immediately, copying their tone and pronunciation. I used to do this with English videos or podcasts. For example, if the speaker said, "Good morning, how are you?" I would pause the video and repeat the same sentence out loud. This helped me improve my pronunciation and rhythm. Role-playing. Create imaginary scenarios and practice how you would respond. For example, pretend you're ordering food at a restaurant. "I'd like a cheeseburger and a soda, please." Act like you're asking for directions. "Excuse me, how do I get to the train station?" Role-playing helped me prepare for real-life situations, so when they happened, I felt ready. Overcoming fear and mistakes. One of the biggest challenges in practicing English is the fear of making mistakes. I used to feel this way too. But then I realized something. Every mistake is an opportunity to learn. When I said something wrong, my friends or teachers corrected me, and I remembered it better the next time. Here's what I tell myself. Mistakes are not failures. They're lessons. The more mistakes I make, the faster I learn. So don't be afraid to speak, write, or try. Even if it's not perfect, every effort you make brings you closer to fluency. My experience with practice. There was a time when I practiced every single day without fail. I spoke to myself, wrote in my journal, listened to podcasts, and even sang songs in English. I'll never forget the first time I had a full conversation with a native speaker. It wasn't perfect, but they understood me, and that was all that mattered. That moment showed me the power of practice. Tips for consistent practice. Set a schedule. Dedicate at least 10-15 minutes a day to practicing English. Make it fun. Use games, songs, or topics you enjoy to stay motivated. Track your progress. Keep a notebook of new words, sentences, or achievements. Be patient. Fluency takes time, but every small step counts. Final thoughts. Practicing English isn't always easy, but it's the most rewarding part of the learning journey. Remember, it's okay to make mistakes, to stumble, and to feel unsure. What matters is that you keep trying. Every word you speak, every sentence you write, and every minute you practice brings you closer to your goal. So let's make a promise to ourselves today. No matter what, we'll keep practicing. We'll celebrate our progress, learn from our mistakes, and enjoy the journey. Because with practice, everything is possible. Part 5. Reading and writing. If listening and speaking are the foundation of learning English, then reading and writing are the walls that make the structure strong. These two skills are deeply connected, and when practiced together, they can help you improve your vocabulary, grammar, and ability to express yourself. Let me share with you how reading and writing played a crucial role in my journey to mastering English, and how you can use these skills to do the same. Why reading is important. Reading is one of the best ways to immerse yourself in English. When you read, you expand your vocabulary. You encounter new words and context, making them easier to understand and remember. Improve your grammar. By seeing how sentences are structured, you naturally learn grammar rules. Enhance comprehension. Reading helps you understand how ideas are expressed in English. Stimulate your imagination. Stories and articles allow you to think in English and visualize ideas. When I first started learning English, reading felt like opening a door to a whole new world. I was no longer just studying words. I was exploring ideas, emotions, and cultures. How to start reading. Begin with simple texts. When I began reading in English, I didn't dive straight into novels or complex articles. Instead, I started with children's books and beginner-level materials. These books had simple vocabulary, short sentences, and pictures to help me understand the story. One of the first books I read was about a little dog and its adventures in the park. It had sentences like, "The dog runs, the dog plays, the dog is happy." It was easy to follow, and it gave me confidence. Use picture books. Books with pictures are excellent for beginners because they provide visual clues to help you understand the story. I remember reading a picture book about a farmer and his animals. Even though I didn't understand all the words, the images helped me figure out what was happening. For example, when I saw a picture of a cow, I understood that the sentence, "The cow eats grass," was about the animal in the image. Read aloud. Reading out loud is a great way to combine reading with speaking practice. When I read aloud, I paid attention to pronunciation and intonation. I would pick a short paragraph and read it multiple times until I felt comfortable with how it sounded. Use graded readers. Graded readers are books written specifically for English learners. They are available in different levels, so you can choose one that matches your ability. These books often include a glossary of new words and exercises at the end, which helped me reinforce what I learned. 5. Explore different genres. As my skills improved, I started exploring different genres. Fairy tales, short stories, articles, and even comic books. Each genre taught me something new. For example, fairy tales introduced me to descriptive language like beautiful, magical, and enchanted. Articles helped me learn formal language and how to explain ideas clearly. Comic books taught me casual conversations and slang. Tips for effective reading. Don't translate every word. Focus on understanding the overall meaning, not individual words. Use a notebook. Write down new words and phrases you encounter. Look them up later and try to use them in your sentences. Set goals. For example, read one page or one chapter a day. Small goals keep you consistent. Reread your favorites. Reading the same story multiple times helps you notice new details and reinforces your understanding. Why writing is important. Writing is your chance to take what you've learned from listening, speaking, and reading and turn it into your own words. It helps you. Practice grammar. Writing allows you to focus on sentence structure and tenses. Organize thoughts. It trains you to express ideas clearly and logically. Strengthen memory. Writing down words and sentences helps you remember them better. Build confidence. When you write, you take control of the language and make it your own. For me, writing felt like putting pieces of a puzzle together. It gave me the freedom to create something new with the words I learned. How to start writing. Keep a journal. The first thing I did to practice writing was keep a simple journal. Every day I wrote a few sentences about my day. For example, today I went to the market. I bought apples and bananas. The weather was sunny. At first my sentences were short and basic, but as I learned more words and grammar, my journal entries became longer and more detailed. It was exciting to see my progress over time. Write about what you love. Writing becomes easier when you focus on topics you enjoy. I loved animals, so I wrote stories about cats, dogs, and other creatures. If you love sports, music, or movies, write about those. For example, my favorite movie is about a boy who finds a magic lamp. The boy is very brave, and the story is exciting. Writing about your interests makes the process more fun and less like homework. Practice describing things. Choose something around you, a room, a park, or even your favorite meal, and describe it in detail. For example, my room is small but cozy. There is a bed, a desk, and a chair. The walls are blue, and there is a lamp on the desk. This exercise helps you practice vocabulary and sentence structure. Write letters or emails. Writing letters or emails is a practical way to practice English. I used to write letters to my English-speaking friends. Even if they were short, it felt rewarding to communicate in English. For example, "Hi, how are you?" Today, I learned a new English word. Excited. I am excited to use it in my writing. 5. Use prompts. Writing prompts are questions or topics that inspire you to write. Some examples include, what is your favorite memory? If you could visit any country, where would you go? Describe your dream home. Using prompts gave me ideas and helped me explore new ways of expressing myself. Tips for effective writing. Start small. Begin with short sentences and paragraphs. Gradually build up to longer pieces. Check your work. After writing, review it to spot mistakes. Use grammar tools or ask someone for feedback. Write regularly. Consistency is key. Even writing for 10 minutes a day can make a big difference. Celebrate progress. Look back at your old writings to see how much you've improved. How reading and writing work together. Reading and writing are like two sides of the same coin. What you read inspires what you write, and what you write helps you understand what you read. For example, if you read a story about a hero, try writing your own story with a similar theme. When you learn new words from a book, use them in your journal or essays. I remember reading a story about a lost cat and then writing my own version of the story. It was fun to add my own ideas while practicing the new words I had learned. My experience with reading and writing. Reading and writing became my favorite parts of learning English. I still remember the first time I finished reading an entire book in English. It felt like climbing a mountain and reaching the top. And the first time I wrote a full page in my journal without using a dictionary. I felt so proud. These two skills not only helped me improve my English, but also taught me to think creatively and express myself confidently. Final thoughts. Reading and writing are essential tools for mastering English. Start small, stay consistent, and enjoy the process. Remember, every book you read and every sentence you write brings you closer to fluency. So, pick up a book, grab a notebook, and let your journey begin. As you read and write, don't forget to celebrate your progress. Every page you finish, every story you write is proof of how far you've come. Keep going and you'll be amazed at what you can achieve. Part 6. Watching videos and conversing with others. Learning English doesn't have to be boring or feel like a chore. In fact, two of the most enjoyable and effective ways to improve your English are watching videos and talking to others. These methods allow you to learn in a natural, fun, and interactive way. Let me share how these strategies worked for me and how you can use them to level up your English skills. Why watching videos is powerful. When you watch videos in English, you're not just listening, you're seeing how the language is used in real-life situations. Videos combine visuals, audio, and context, making it easier to understand and remember what you learn. Here's why they're so effective. Improve listening skills. Videos expose you to different accents, pronunciations, and tones. Learn vocabulary. In context, you see how words are used in sentences and scenarios. Understand body language. Watching gestures and expressions helps you grasp meaning beyond words. Engage emotionally. A funny cartoon or an emotional movie sticks with you, making the language more memorable. How to use videos for learning. Start with subtitles. When I began watching videos in English, I always used subtitles. At first, I used subtitles in my native language to understand the story, but soon I switched to English subtitles. This helped me connect spoken words to their written forms and improved my reading speed. For example, I watched a short animation about a girl and her magical friend. The dialogue was simple, and the subtitles helped me follow along. Over time, I started understanding the words without needing to read them. Choose content you enjoy. Learning is easier when it's fun. Pick videos that match your interests. Cartoons. Great for beginners because they use simple language and clear pronunciation. Shows like Peppa Pig or Bluey are excellent starting points. Movies and TV shows. Family-friendly films like Finding Nemo or The Lion King use language that's easy to follow and are full of life lessons. YouTube channels. Many creators make videos specifically for English learners. I loved watching cooking tutorials because I could learn both English and new recipes. Watch short clips. If movies feel overwhelming, start with short clips or scenes. Websites like YouTube have thousands of videos that are only a few minutes long. Watching short, focused content allows you to repeat it multiple times and concentrate on specific phrases. Practice shadowing. Shadowing is a technique where you repeat what the speaker says right after hearing it. I used to pause videos, repeat the lines out loud, and try to mimic the speaker's pronunciation and tone. For example, when a character said, "Let's go to the park," I would say it in the same way, trying to match their energy and intonation. Pay attention to real-life phrases. Videos are an excellent source for learning how people speak in real-life situations. You'll hear casual phrases like, "What's up? See you later." That's awesome. I learned so many conversational phrases from sitcoms and comedies that made me sound more natural when I spoke. Why conversing with others is essential. Speaking with others is the ultimate way to put your English skills into action. It's one thing to learn words and phrases from books or videos, but it's another to use them in real conversations. Talking to people helps you build confidence. The more you speak, the less afraid you are of making mistakes. Improve fluency. Regular practice trains your brain to think in English. Learn from mistakes. Conversations reveal gaps in your knowledge, so you know what to focus on. Pick up new expressions. You learn slang, idioms, and cultural nuances that you won't find in textbooks. How to start conversations. Practice with friends or family. If you have friends or family members who speak English, start practicing with them. I had a cousin who was fluent in English, and we would talk for 10-15 minutes every day. She encouraged me to try, even when I made mistakes, and she corrected me kindly. Join language exchange platforms. There are many online platforms where you can connect with people who want to learn your native language in exchange for teaching you English. Apps like Tandem or HelloTalk are great for finding language partners. I met a friend from another country this way, and we practiced by talking about our cultures and daily lives. I participate in group discussions. If you're comfortable, join English-speaking clubs or discussion groups. I once joined an online book club where we discussed short English stories. It was intimidating at first, but everyone was supportive, and it helped me learn how to express my opinions. Use technology.ai. Chatbots and language learning apps are a fantastic way to practice conversations without feeling judged. I used apps like Duolingo and practiced speaking short sentences with voice recognition features. Role-play scenarios. Create imaginary situations and practice conversations. For example, ordering food. I'd like a burger and fries, please. Asking for directions. Excuse me, where is the nearest bus stop? Shopping. How much does this cost? Practicing these scenarios made me feel more prepared for real-life conversations. Overcoming the fear of speaking. I know speaking English can be scary, especially if you're worried about making mistakes. I used to feel the same way. But here's what helped me. Focus on communication, not perfection. The goal is to get your message across, not to speak perfectly. Start small. Begin with short phrases and simple sentences. Gradually build up to longer conversations. Celebrate progress. Every time you speak, no matter how small, it's a step forward. Be proud of yourself. Combining videos and conversations. Watching videos and conversing with others work beautifully together. Here's how you can combine them. Learn from videos. Practice with people. Watch a video, pick up new phrases, and use them in your next conversation. Discuss what you watched. If you watch a movie or show with a friend, talk about it afterward. For example, I liked the part where the hero saved the dog. What about you? Imitate real-life scenarios. Watch a scene where characters are ordering food, then practice role-playing the same scenario with a friend or partner. My experience with videos and conversations. I'll never forget the first time I had a conversation with a native English speaker. It was during a trip, and I asked for directions. I said, "Excuse me, where is the bus station?" The person understood me and gave me directions. It wasn't a long conversation, but it boosted my confidence. I realized that all those hours of watching videos and practicing conversations had paid off. Tips for consistency. Watch every day. Even if it's just a 5-minute video, consistency is key. Talk often. Aim to have at least one conversation in English. Daily, even if it's short. Track progress. Keep a journal of new phrases you learn from videos or conversations. Be patient. Progress takes time, but every effort counts. Final thoughts. Watching videos and conversing with others are two of the most enjoyable ways to learn English. They bring the language to life and help you connect with people and cultures in meaningful ways. So, start small. Watch a short video, learn a new phrase, and use it in a conversation. Over time, you'll see your confidence and fluency grow. Remember, English is not just a language, it's a bridge to new opportunities and friendships. So, grab your favorite video, find someone to talk to, and enjoy the journey of learning. You're doing amazing. Keep going. Part 7. Goal setting and patience. When learning English, 2 qualities will guide you further than any textbook or app: clear goals and patience. These 2 go hand in hand. Setting goals gives you direction, while patience keeps you on the path, even when progress feels slow. Let me share how I've used these strategies to achieve my language learning goals and how you can apply them to your own journey. The importance of setting goals. Imagine trying to learn English without knowing what you want to achieve. It's like setting off on a journey without a destination. You'll end up wandering without making much progress. Setting goals gives you clarity. You know what you're working toward. Motivation. Goals give you a reason to keep going, even when things get tough. Focus. Instead of trying to learn everything at once, you can concentrate on specific areas. A sense of achievement. Reaching your goals gives you a feeling of success, which inspires you to aim higher. How to set effective goals. The best goals are SMART: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Let me break that down. Be specific. Avoid vague goals like, I want to learn English. Instead, make it clear and detailed, such as, I want to learn 10 new vocabulary words this week. I want to have a 5-minute conversation in English by the end of the month. Specific goals make it easier to plan your steps. Make goals. Measurable. You should be able to track your progress. For example, I will read 1 English article every day. I will write 3 sentences in my journal each morning. Being able to measure your progress keeps you motivated and helps you see how far you've come. Keep goals achievable. It's important to challenge yourself, but your goals should be realistic. Instead of aiming to become fluent in 3 months, set smaller, achievable goals like learn to introduce myself in English. Understand a simple conversation in a movie without subtitles. Achieving small goals builds your confidence and encourages you to aim higher. Make goals relevant. Your Goals should align with your reasons for learning English. For example, if you want to use English for work, focus on learning business vocabulary and email writing. If you're learning for travel, practice phrases for ordering food, asking for directions, or booking a hotel. When your goals are connected to your personal interests or needs, they feel more meaningful. 5. Set a time frame. Deadlines give you a sense of urgency and help you stay committed. For example, I will learn 50 new words in 1 month. I will finish reading an English book in 2 weeks. Examples of goals for English learners. Here are some examples of short-term and long-term goals. Short-term goals. Learn 5 new words each day. Practice speaking English for 10 minutes daily. Watch 1 English video with subtitles every evening. Long-term goals. Write a 1-page essay in English. Hold a 10-minute conversation with a native speaker. Pass an English proficiency test like TOEFL or IELTS. The role of patience. Learning a language takes time. There will be days when progress feels slow or when you make mistakes and feel frustrated. This is where patience becomes your greatest ally. Why patience is important. It reduces frustration. Progress may not always be visible, but patience reminds you that every effort adds up over time. It encourages consistency. Learning a little every day is more effective than trying to learn everything at once. It helps you enjoy the process. When you're patient, you can appreciate small victories instead of rushing to the finish line. How to practice patience. Focus on progress, not perfection. When I started learning English, I wanted to be perfect. I would get upset every time I made a mistake. But over time, I realized that mistakes are a natural part of learning. Instead of aiming for perfection, I began celebrating progress. For example, if I learned a new word, I would use it in a sentence, even if my grammar wasn't perfect. If I could understand part of a movie without subtitles, I felt proud even if I missed some details. Take 1 step at a time. Learning English can feel overwhelming if you try to tackle everything at once. Break it down into small, manageable steps. For example, start by focusing on basic vocabulary and phrases. Once you're comfortable, move on to grammar and sentence structure. Gradually work on advanced skills like writing essays or having fluent conversations. Be kind to yourself. It's easy to compare yourself to others, but remember, everyone learns at their own pace. I used to compare myself to a friend who seemed to learn English effortlessly. it made me feel discouraged. But then I realized that my journey was unique, and as long as I kept trying, I was making progress. Celebrate small wins. Every time you achieve a goal, no matter how small, take a moment to celebrate. I remember the first time I read a full page of an English book without using a dictionary. It was a small achievement, but it motivated me to keep going. Celebrating wins helps you stay positive and focused. Remind yourself of your why. Whenever I felt frustrated, I reminded myself why I was learning English. For me, it was the dream of traveling to English-speaking countries and being able to communicate with people from around the world. Remembering your reason keeps you motivated, even on tough days. My personal experience with goals and patience. When I first started learning English, my initial goal was simple: to understand basic greetings and introduce myself. It took me a few weeks, but when I finally had my first conversation in English, it felt amazing. From there, I set bigger goals, like writing short stories and watching movies without subtitles. There were times when progress felt slow. I remember spending weeks trying to understand past tense verbs, and it felt like I wasn't getting anywhere. But I kept practicing little by little. One day it all clicked, and I realized that the effort had paid off. Looking back, I'm so glad I didn't give up. Tips for staying motivated. Track your progress. Keep a journal or use an app to track what you've learned. Reward yourself. Treat yourself to something you enjoy when you reach a goal, like watching your favorite movie or eating a special meal. Find a support system. Share your goals with friends, teachers, or online communities. Their encouragement can keep you motivated. Visualize your success. Imagine yourself speaking English fluently, traveling, or achieving your dreams. Visualization can be a powerful motivator. Final thoughts. Goal setting and patience are the keys to unlocking your potential in learning English. By setting clear, achievable goals, you give yourself a roadmap to follow. And with patience, you'll stay on track even when the journey feels long. Remember, every step you take, no matter how small, is progress. Celebrate your wins, learn from your mistakes, and trust the process. You are capable of achieving incredible things, and with persistence and determination, you'll reach your goals. So, take a deep breath, set your next goal, and move forward with confidence. The journey may be long, but every step is worth it. Keep going. You've got this. Part 8. Learning Tools. In today's world, we are surrounded by tools and resources that make learning English easier, faster, and more enjoyable. These tools are like your personal assistants. They help you practice vocabulary, improve grammar, develop listening skills, and even connect with people around the globe. But with so many options, it can be overwhelming to know where to start. In this section, I'll guide you through the most effective learning tools, share my personal experiences, and show you how to make the most of them. Let's unlock the power of technology and resources to supercharge your English learning journey. Why learning tools are important. Learning tools provide structure. They organize your study routine and keep you on track. Flexibility. You can learn anytime, anywhere, at your own pace. Engagement. Interactive features, games, and activities make learning fun. Access to experts. Many tools connect you with teachers, tutors, or native speakers. When I started learning English, I didn't have access to many resources. But today, with the help of apps, websites, books, and other tools, anyone can learn English no matter where they are. Digital tools for learning English. Language learning apps. Language apps are some of the most popular tools for learners. They're interactive, easy to use, and perfect for studying on the go. Here are some of the best ones. Duolingo. A fun game-like app that teaches vocabulary, grammar, and phrases through short lessons. I use this app daily to learn basic words and sentences. Memrise. Focuses on vocabulary through flashcards and videos of native speakers. Busuu. Offers complete language courses with speaking, writing, and grammar practice. It also includes feedback from native speakers. Babbel. Focuses on conversational English with practical dialogues and real-life scenarios. Tip. Use these apps consistently, even if it's just for 10-15 minutes a day. Over time, you'll notice significant improvement. Online dictionaries. A good dictionary is your best friend when learning English. Here are some of my favorites. Cambridge Dictionary. Offers definitions, examples, pronunciation guides, and grammar tips. Merriam-Webster. Includes synonyms, antonyms, and word origins to expand your vocabulary. Google Translate. Useful for quick translations, but always double-check the accuracy. When I encountered new words, I would look them up in an online dictionary, listen to the pronunciation, and write down a sentence using the word. This habit helped me build my vocabulary. Flashcard tools. Flashcards are excellent for memorizing vocabulary and phrases. Digital flashcard tools like Anki and Quizlet allow you to create custom flashcard sets and practice them regularly. What I loved about Quizlet was its ability to include images and audio, making learning more engaging. YouTube. YouTube is a gold mine for English learners. You can find videos on almost any topic, whether it's grammar lessons, pronunciation tips, or listening practice. Here's how I used YouTube. Grammar videos. Channels like English Addict with Mr. Steve and BBC Learning English made complex grammar rules easy to understand. Listening practice. I watched vlogs and tutorials to hear natural conversations. Pronunciation. Channels like Rachel's English taught me how to pronounce difficult sounds. Tip: start with videos that have subtitles. Gradually challenge yourself by turning them off. Podcasts and audiobooks. Listening to English podcasts and audiobooks helps you improve your listening skills and learn new vocabulary. Some of my favorites include The English We Speak, BBC. Short episodes that teach idioms and slang. ESL Pod. Perfect for beginners with slow and clear pronunciation. Audible. Offers a huge collection of audiobooks in English. I used to listen to podcasts while commuting or doing chores, turning idle time into valuable learning opportunities. Traditional learning tools. Physical books. Nothing beats the feel of a good book in your hands. Start with beginner-friendly materials like children's books. Simple vocabulary and colorful illustrations make them great for beginners. Graded. Readers. Books designed specifically for English learners at different levels. Bilingual books. These include both English and your native language, making it easier to understand the story. I remember reading a bilingual version of The Little Prince. It was challenging, but incredibly rewarding. Notebooks. Keeping a notebook is a simple yet powerful tool. Here's how I used mine. Vocabulary journal. I wrote down new words, their meanings, and example sentences. Daily journal. I practiced writing about my day in English. Grammar notes. I summarized grammar rules and examples for quick reference. Flashcards. If you prefer physical flashcards, you can create your own. Write a word on one side and its meaning or translation on the other. Carry them with you and review them whenever you have free time. Interactive learning tools. Language exchange platforms. Platforms like Tandem and HelloTalk connect you with people around the world who want to practice languages. You can chat, voice call, or even video call with native speakers. I made a friend from Canada on HelloTalk, and we practiced speaking English every week. Online courses. Websites like Coursera, edX, and Udemy offer structured English courses taught by professional instructors. Many of these courses are free or low cost and include videos, quizzes, and assignments. Online communities. Joining an online community gives you a support system of fellow learners. Some popular options include Reddit, r English Learning, a forum where learners share tips, ask questions, and practice writing. Facebook groups. Many groups are dedicated to English learning, offering challenges and discussion threads. Being part of these communities helped me stay motivated and inspired. How to choose the right tools. With so many tools available, how do you choose the right ones? Here are some tips. Identify your goals. Are you focusing on speaking, listening, writing, or all of them? Choose tools that match your goals. Start. Simple. Begin with 1 or 2 tools. Once you're comfortable, add more. Be consistent. The best tools are the ones you use regularly. Track your progress. Use tools that allow you to measure improvement, like language apps with progress reports. My experience with learning tools. When I was learning English, I combined traditional tools like notebooks and books with modern technology like apps and YouTube. My favorite combination was listening to a podcast for 10 minutes in the morning, watching a YouTube video in the afternoon, practicing vocabulary with Quizlet in the evening. This balanced approach kept learning fun and effective. Final thoughts. Learning. Tools are your secret weapons in mastering English. Whether it's an app, a book, or a conversation with a language partner, every tool brings you one step closer to fluency. The key is to find what works best for you and use it consistently. Remember, tools are here to help, but they're not magic. Your dedication, patience, and effort are what truly make the difference. So, pick your favorite tools, start using them today, and enjoy the journey of learning English. You've got this. Part 9. Creativity and Organization. When it comes to learning English, 2 qualities can transform your journey: creativity and organization. Creativity makes learning exciting, fun, and memorable. while organization helps you stay on track and achieve your goals step by step. Together, these skills can make your English learning experience not just effective, but also enjoyable. Let me share how creativity and organization played a vital role in my language learning journey, and how you can use them to supercharge your progress. Why creativity is important in learning English. Creativity allows you to think outside the box, turning ordinary learning activities into engaging experiences. It helps you remember vocabulary better. Creative methods like drawing or storytelling make new words stick. Stay motivated. Fun and interesting activities keep you excited about learning. Express yourself. Creativity helps you use English in unique and personal ways. When I started learning English, I realized that traditional methods like memorizing lists didn't work well for me. But when I added creative elements like drawing pictures or inventing stories, everything became more enjoyable and effective. How to use creativity in learning. Draw what you learn. Turn vocabulary words into visual art. For example, if you're learning the word apple, draw a picture of an apple and label it in English. If you're feeling adventurous, create a scene with multiple objects and label everything. When I was learning English, I kept a small sketchbook. For every new word, I drew a picture. For beach, I drew sand, water, and a beach umbrella. These images helped me remember the words much faster. Create stories. Storytelling is a powerful way to practice vocabulary and grammar. Choose a few words or phrases you've recently learned and create a short story using them. It doesn't need to be perfect, just have fun with it. For example, I once learned words like cat, tree, and jump. I wrote a simple story. The cat jumps on the tree. The tree is big. The cat is happy. As I got better, my stories became longer and more detailed. Write poems or songs. Poetry and music are fantastic ways to practice English creatively. Try writing a short poem or song using words and phrases you've learned. It doesn't have to rhyme or be perfect. Just let your imagination flow. When I learned the word beautiful, I wrote a simple poem. The sky is blue, the flowers are beautiful, and the world is bright because of you. It was a small exercise, but it made learning enjoyable. Play word games. Games like crossword puzzles, word searches, or Scrabble can make vocabulary practice feel like playtime. You can find these games online, in apps, or create your own. I loved playing a game where I had to make as many words as possible from a single word, like learning. I came up with learn, ring, and line. Act out situations. Role-playing is a fun way to practice speaking. Pretend you're in a restaurant, at an airport, or shopping and act out the conversation. For example, excuse me, can I have the menu, please? How much is this shirt? You can do this with a friend or even by yourself in front of a mirror. It's a creative way to prepare for real-life situations. Design flashcards. Instead of using plain flashcards, make your own with drawings, stickers, or colorful designs. Add example sentences or funny illustrations. This not only makes studying more engaging, but also helps you remember better. Use mind maps. A mind map is a diagram where you write a central word or topic in the middle and connect related words around it. For example, if your main word is travel, you can add branches for airport, hotel, adventure, and luggage. I used mind maps to organize vocabulary by themes like food, sports, and nature. It helped me see connections between words and remember them more easily. Why organization is important. While creativity makes learning fun, organization ensures that you're making steady progress. Without a clear plan, it's easy to feel overwhelmed or lose track of your goals. Organization helps you. Stay consistent. Regular practice leads to better results. Track progress. You can see how much you've improved and what you need to focus on. Manage time. A structured schedule ensures you make the most of your study sessions. How to stay organized in learning. Create a study schedule. A study schedule helps you allocate time for different activities. For example, Monday, practice vocabulary for 20 minutes. Watch an English video for 10 minutes. Tuesday, write a short paragraph in your journal and review grammar rules. I found that setting aside a specific time each day for English practice kept me consistent. Even 15 minutes a day can make a big difference over time. Keep a learning journal. A learning journal is a place to record everything you learn. Here's what you can include: new vocabulary and their meanings, grammar rules and example sentences, short reflections on what you practiced that day. Looking back at my journal, I could see how much I had learned, which motivated me to keep going. Organize your notes. Keep your notes tidy and categorized. Use separate sections or folders for vocabulary, grammar writing, practice listening, and speaking exercises. I used colorful tabs and highlighters to make my notes visually appealing and easy to navigate. Set clear goals. Organize your goals into short-term and long-term categories. For example, short-term goal: learn 10 new words this week. Long-term goal. Write a one-page essay by the end of the month. Having these goals written down kept me focused and gave me a sense of direction. Use digital tools, apps and tools like Trello or Notion can help you organize your study plan and track progress. I used a simple spreadsheet to record new words, their meanings, and when I reviewed them. Review regularly. Set aside time to review what you've learned. I dedicated Sundays to revisiting my notes, flashcards, and journal entries from the week. This helped me reinforce my knowledge and identify areas that needed more practice. Combining creativity and organization. The magic happens when you combine creativity and organization. For example, use your schedule to plan creative activities, like storytelling or drawing. Organize your mind maps or flashcards into themes for easy review. Track your progress on creative projects, like writing a short story or recording a video in English. When I combined these two approaches, my learning process became both structured and exciting. My personal experience. I'll never forget how much creativity and organization transformed my English learning journey. At one point, I felt stuck and uninspired. But when I started drawing, writing stories, and organizing my study materials, everything changed. I looked forward to each study session because it felt like an adventure, not a chore. One of my favorite memories is creating a mind map for travel vocabulary, and then using those words to write a story about a dream vacation. It was challenging but rewarding, and it helped me remember the words far better than simply memorizing a list. Final thoughts. Creativity and organization are like the perfect pair of wings. They help you soar in your English learning journey. Creativity makes the process enjoyable, while organization keeps you focused and consistent. Together, they turn learning into an exciting adventure. So, don't be afraid to think outside the box and have fun with your studies. At the same time, create a clear plan and stick to it. Whether you're drawing pictures, writing stories, or organizing notes, every step you take brings you closer to fluency. Remember, English is not just a subject to study, it's a skill to enjoy. So grab your notebook, let your imagination run wild, and start organizing your path to success. You've got this. Part 10. Inspirational conclusion. As we reach the end of this journey together, let's take a moment to reflect. Learning English, or any new language, is not just about mastering grammar rules, memorizing vocabulary, or perfecting pronunciation. It's about growth, transformation, and discovering new parts of yourself. It's about opening doors to a world filled with possibilities, connections, and dreams. The journey is as important as the destination. When I started learning English, I thought the goal was simply to speak fluently. But over time, I realized that the journey itself was just as important. Every mistake I made taught me something new. Every new word I learned felt like a small victory. Every conversation, every sentence, every effort, it all added up to where I am today. So, to you, the learner who may feel overwhelmed or unsure, I want you to know you are on the right path. Every small step you take, every minute you dedicate, brings you closer to your goal. Celebrate your progress. Learning a language is not a race. It's a personal journey. Celebrate the small victories. Did you learn 5 new words today? That's progress. Did you write a short paragraph in English? That's amazing. Did you understand a phrase in a movie without subtitles? That's a win. These moments might seem small, but they are proof that you are growing, step by step. Keep your why close to your heart. Whenever you feel discouraged or tired, remind yourself why you started this journey. Maybe it's to travel, to connect with people from different cultures, to advance your career, or simply to challenge yourself. Whatever your reason, hold on to it. Let it be the light that guides you when the path feels difficult. When I faced moments of frustration, I would picture myself in the future, confidently speaking English, making friends from around the world, and achieving my dreams. That vision kept me going, and it can do the same for you. The power of mistakes. Let's talk about mistakes. Many learners fear them, but I want you to see mistakes as your best teachers. Each mistake you make is an opportunity to grow and improve. I made countless errors while learning English, mispronouncing words, mixing up grammar, or forgetting vocabulary. But each time I learned something new. Remember, mistakes are not failures. They are stepping stones to success. Embrace them, learn from them, and keep moving forward. The importance of consistency. Consistency is the secret ingredient to success. You don't have to spend hours every day learning English. Even 10 or 15 minutes of focused practice can make a huge difference over time. The key is to show up every day, even if it's just for a little while. Think of learning English like planting a garden. Each day, you water it a little, and over time, you'll see it bloom. Be patient and trust the process. Learning is a journey, not a destination. Fluency doesn't happen overnight, and that's okay. Learning English is a lifelong journey, full of discoveries and milestones. Along the way, you'll not only become a better English speaker, but also a more confident, resilient, and curious person. Your efforts matter. Sometimes you might wonder if your efforts are making a difference. Let me tell you, they absolutely are. Every word you learn, every sentence you practice, every mistake you overcome, it all adds up. Your dedication is building a strong foundation, brick by brick, and one day you'll look back and be amazed at how far you've come. A message. To you. I want you to know that I believe in you. I know you have the strength, determination, and potential to achieve your English learning goals. There will be challenges along the way, but remember, challenges are what make the journey worthwhile. They test your strength and shape you into a stronger, more capable version of yourself. The beauty of connection. English is more than just a language, it's a bridge. It connects you to people, cultures, ideas, and opportunities. It allows you to express yourself and understand others. It's a tool for building relationships, exploring the world, and sharing your unique voice. Imagine the conversations you'll have, the stories you'll tell, and the connections you'll make, all because you chose to learn English. That's the beauty of this journey. Final words of encouragement. As we close this chapter, I want to leave you with a few final thoughts. Be patient with yourself. Progress takes time, but every effort counts. Stay positive. Celebrate your successes. And embrace the learning process. Keep dreaming big. Your goals are within reach, step by step. Never stop learning. Even when you achieve fluency, there will always be more to explore. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. There are millions of people around the world learning English just like you. You are part of a global community of learners, all working toward a common goal. Call to action. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What is your biggest goal in learning? English? What motivates you to keep going? What has been your favorite part of the journey so far? Share your thoughts in the comments below or with someone who's also learning English. Let's inspire each other and grow together. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your journey. Keep learning keep growing, and keep shining. I'm proud of you, and I can't wait to see all that you achieve. You've got this. Closing. The road to learning English is a journey filled with challenges, triumphs, and discoveries. Embrace every moment, trust in yourself, and never give up. Because the best version of you is waiting on the other side of this incredible adventure. Thank you for being here. Keep going. You're doing amazing. Great work today. Every moment you spend practicing brings you closer to mastering your English listening and speaking skills. Remember, progress comes with patience and consistency. If this story inspired you or helped you in your learning journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more lessons and stories. Keep listening, keep speaking, and keep believing in your growth. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and keep shining.